Toxiic, one of the many pros who reached out to me after seeing Zen, has become a ones main and asked if he could have a match against him. Of course, I'm happy to oblige, as Toxiic recently has kind of asserted himself as a pretty clear top 5 or 6 in Europe. Zen is here to completely ruin that that leaderboard, of course. He's coming for everybody. But yeah, before Zen's his recent appearance in the one scene, the pretty clear top 5 for me in Europe was apparently Jack, Moxie, Joria's, Raziers, and then Toxiic number 5, with Luis and Atto kind of nipping at his heels. Yeah, Zen is here to ruin everybody's day. Looks like he's got 44 ping on 4G. That is a brilliant 4G connection. Hopefully it can keep up throughout the entire series here. If we randomly see Zen just stopping for any moment, he's probably just lagged out. He's probably just lagged out briefly. Oh my, he tried to pogo there. That was a pretty immediate shot after the bounce. He didn't get a ton of power on it. Looks like he's ready to try and clip on Toxiic here today. But yeah, if you're not too familiar with Toxiic's gameplay, what you can expect from him is actually quite similar to what we saw from Moxie. Toxiic and I'd say Toxiic is one of the players who most closely emulates Moxie in playstyle. He's got a huge flick game. He's got a great kickoff repertoire as well. Yeah, overall just a very solid player, very smart player. So this is going to be a big test for Zen. Even if he's on his regular internet, I wouldn't say that it's just a free win for Zen by any means. I don't think Toxiic's a free win for anyone, especially in a show match where he can be extremely dangerous. Yet to have a big tournament win. His best result was grand finals of the Pro Drops EU Invitational. But yeah, as far as show matches go, Toxiic is an absolute monster. He's a fiend in certain matchups as well. Toxiic's half flipped the wrong way there, but Zen hits the ball straight to him. That half flip we saw there from Toxiic could have led to a direct goal for Zen if he just realized what Toxiic was doing and boomed the ball to the bottom corner far away from Toxiic. It would have gone in. There's no way for the goalkeeper to get there because Toxiic did not flip the correct direction. I think this is just something he hasn't learned yet. He doesn't know how to half flip both ways. It surprises me how many pros are in that same boat. They can't half flip left and right, slightly left and right, I should say. I guess, yeah, just one of those things that they haven't learned yet. I think an easy way that they can elevate their gameplay would be to pick up that mechanic. It's a free one. A couple minutes in free play and should be easy for players of this caliber to download it. Oh wow, what a save by Zen. He's recovered well. Toxiic just narrowly missing the bump afterwards. That was ridiculous from Zen. He's being tested early here though. Toxiic out pressuring him. 7 shots to 4. Nice little pre-jump pop save from Toxiic there on the Zen flick. This would be a huge surprise if Toxiic can stun Zen early with a goal, or with a win I should say. Zen not connecting all that well with his flick there at the end of the air dribble and the flip reset. Great turn there by Zen. Toxiic expected Zen to go to the back corner and grab the boost. That's why he was lining up a shot. Zen showing that he's not just a mechanical genius, he's just a genius full stop. Toxiic closes the gap on the angle dribble. Actually gets himself a free possession, but Zen shuts that down. The rebound is there for him, and he confidently hits it into the open net. I really like the defense there from Toxiic though. When Zen started to try and open up an angle with the dribble, Zen just went straight for the or Toxiic rather just went straight for the ball. He didn't give Zen a chance to get a run up and take a shot from that position. That's not the best touch though by Toxiic. That's going to be pretty easy for Zen to run into the back corner. There's no way Toxiic can really pressure that before Zen advances into his side of the field. Delayed flick maybe by Zen. Oh, he's wave dash to reverse. What a mind game. Toxiic panicked when he saw the wave dash, thought it was a shot forwards. Well, Zen has actually just wave dashed backwards and completely confused Toxiic. I mean, it looks like a blunder from Toxiic in some ways, but honestly, the brain will just react to that sound, the sound of a dodge. Your brain is just going to reflex, think, okay, flip forwards because he's just taking a shot, so let's just cover that. No, it's not a shot. It's a reverse wave dash. So Toxiic just clearly was not even thinking about that as a possibility there. He was just on high alert, ready to cover any shot that Zen might go for. Genius from Zen. He's played a very smart game here. It looks like he might have overextended though. Toxiic spots an opening. And he's back within one. So, I mean, he's played a very smart game up until now, but that was a big mistake there by Zen. Did not respect Toxic's recovery. Thought he was playing for the boost seal. Ball was more important there. Goal differential, Daniel 1. Yeah, I suppose if we established at the start of that little series between Daniel and Moxie the goal differential was in fact important, then yeah, sure, Daniel won. But we didn't do that, I'm afraid, so it was a draw. Oh, that's great from Zen. That's actually ridiculous. He sets up a rebound with a ceiling pinch. What on earth? How has he controlled that? How is he placing a ceiling pinch? What is going on? This man is just different. He's actually just he's one of a kind. He really is. He's coming up with new ways to score every time he plays. And that might be the goal that wakes him up and ups his confidence. Is he going to take down another top tier player in EU? You know, he's already beaten Jack, he's beaten Moxie, he's beaten Raziers. The only players left for him to beat at the top of EU are Jarius, Toxiic, Luis Sato. He's beaten everybody. Oh, well played, Toxiic. That is a very good shot. That is so difficult to defend as well. You're never expecting the dodge here, because look how high he is. He's right next to crossbar height when he flips into the ball. Vatira, yeah, probably Vatira as well recently, because he's looked pretty monstrous. Yeah, there's still a lot of players for Zen to play, but he's just taking them down one after another, you know. Taking them down one after another. The only like absolute like EU god that he has to take down is Jarius, and then he's pretty much beating everybody. Nice little lob there, Zen. And another 2-goal lead. And Toxic's put up a great game 1 fight here, but Zen is inevitable. Zen is undeniable. A big kickoff win though by Toxiic. Hold on. We might have some drama at the end of game 1. Huge hook kickoff from Toxiic. If Zen was paying attention to that, what he should do here is get left of the ball and flip right. Let's see if he knows the counter. He does. So really smart play there by Zen. Like I said before, he's not just mechanical genius. He's got the strats as well. He's only been playing ones for a month or two, but he's already figured out kickoff adaptations, playstyle adaptations, defensive, offensive adaptations. He really does have the full package to be one of the best in this game mode, if not the best. Somehow Toxic's get the ball in the air here, but this looks like an impossible position to score from. Boost advantage for Zen, and the ground gladly accepts his first game win. Yeah, if any of you are wondering why Zen flipping that direction was the cover of Toxic's previous kickoff goal, I know a lot of you have heard me say this a million times, but there's always new viewers to the channel. I don't want to leave anyone in the dark about this. Kickoffs, you know, if both players are playing standard, are all about where you position your car relative to the ball and your goal, and which direction you flip into it. There are 2 main ways you can approach the ball in a 1v1 kickoff scenario. You can either be what we call goal side, which means that you're directly between the ball and your goal, or you can be on the outside, which is where you're more side onto the ball and trying to get a big win to the outside rather than straight towards the opponent's goal. But yeah, it doesn't stop there. Of course, that's 2 different approaches you can go for. You can also flip left or right. So there's 4 main variations when you combine those things together. Yeah, Toxiic said his flip kickoff hard countered here. Oh no, never mind. Zen didn't make it to the back corner. Okay, should have been a hard counter. Zen just taking the free possession, but he lost control. It will be Toxic's ball. Yeah, if you realize your opponent is going for one of those strategies, the best way to guarantee that they're not going to get a goal while doing it is to just mirror them. And yeah, Zen realized which one of those 4 main kickoff strats Toxiic went for when he scored a kickoff goal at the end of the last game, and he just mirrored it. He did the exact same thing. That's why the kickoff went pretty even in the final kickoff of the game. That's all you really need to look out for. These are things you can apply to your own gameplay. You'd be amazed how much you can change your fortunes by just paying attention to those 4 things. Well, those 2 things, and how they interact with each other. Guys, ignore Johnny. I don't want to play against anyone with good kickoffs. It's actually kind of fun when both players know what they're doing in kickoffs, because it becomes another mind game. You know, when both players are trying to counter each other, or trying to surprise each other with different angles, different timings, different strategies, it really does become a game of chess. It's like it's completely separate. It's a game within a game. You know, the kickoff game just becomes a little mini game that both players are playing, and that's why I like to try and explain to you guys often what's going on, because when you know these things, when you know what you're supposed to look out for, you can appreciate what the players are doing. It looks like Zen might have lagged out there. Toxic gonna delay the shot. Very respectful there by Toxic. Zen's 4G just briefly having a wee stutter. Well, we said that earlier, it might happen. Yeah, very, very respectful there by Toxic not to take the free goal. Let Zen get back into position. And he remains 1 goal in front either way. Zen trying to trip up Toxic here, maybe even go for a demo. He's going to need to just play the ball to safety. That's exactly what he does. Toxic trying to go for the ball there. The demo is obviously just inherently threatened in that position, so that's why Toxic went for the ball instead. Huge pinch attempted by Zen. Great timing to go for that pinch, I would say, because Toxic was very close to Zen's side of the pitch. Zen looking to catch him off guard with those bursts of acceleration that have worked for him well in all the series he's played on my channel. Here's a chance for Toxic to get a shot off. He doesn't get the best shot, mainly because Zen didn't overcompensate as Toxic was flying towards him. Half the game gone though, and Toxic's kept Zen to a single goal. That's something not many players have been able to do. In fact, it might be something no player's been able to do. I'm not 100% sure. I do not have a statistician in my ear on my own live stream. Oh, great delayed flick by Zen. Toxic hit Zen with one of these last game. Now Zen's done it right back to him. Oh, fuck, that's just unreadable. Toxic's lining up to save a flick to the other side of the goal, and Zen gets underneath the ball and hits it back across the other way. It just looks so difficult to stop from Toxic's side of the game. How old is Zen? He's 15 at the moment. As soon as he's 16, he's going to be able to play RLCS. He's currently banned because he played on someone else's account when he was too young to play RLCS, which is of course against RLCS rules. Toxic did not go for this, even though he had a lot of boosts available to him. Well, that hesitation has cost him, because Zen's just taking the ball for free. I really think Toxic could have gone for this. Yeah, he had a lot of boost there. I think he probably overestimated how much boost Zen had. He was worried that Zen was pretending to be on low boost, when we can actually see Zen was in fact on low boost. So Toxic not reading Zen there, having a bit too much respect for Zen's boost management. Fake jump from Zen, not really doing too much. Not really doing anything. Oh my days, has he actually gotten back and saved this though? Well, we're going to need to save the replay on that and see if that was brilliance from Zen or a big beam from Toxic. So it looked like a unmissable opportunity. Zen was flipping back towards the ball, but it really looked like if Toxic just got a good hitbox in that, he could force it in though. We'll need to look at it on the replay. Either way, great recovery by Zen. He didn't get the best save. He gave himself a chance to get back to the ball. Toxic has failed to punish him. Yeah, a lot of people asking for Yan versus Zen. That is another match that I am going to be setting up, hopefully next week, if possible. Yan, Daniel, and Rawas do all want to play against Zen, and of course those are matches I'd love to see myself. I'm sure you guys would all love to see them as well. They're all players that I put in my personal top 5 right now. Just my hypothetical, theoretical top 5. I have to just assume that Zen's in there based on his results and just the way that he plays. Look at this from Toxic. Keeping another game close. This is another great shot from him as well. Faking the shot the entire way. Zen thought Toxic was going to let that bounce and attempt a chip shot. Toxic actually just shot it under him. He might score again with the kickoff. Oh, he's won it so hard he can't catch up to it though. Zen with a zero boost pinch attempt. It goes more vertically than forwards. Toxic immediately catches it and will equalize inside the final minute. So a bit of a misplay there by Zen. Pinch went too far up, so he didn't actually have any way to get back to his goal before Toxic could score. Beastrix EU, thanks for the prime. Welcome to the channel tonight. Hopefully you're doing well. Both players have 100 boosts to play with. Toxiic had to reverse back to it though, so he's a little bit out of position here. Can Toxiic do what no one else has done against Zen, and that is win a game before game 3. Zen's never lost game 1 or 2 on my channel. Toxiic might be the first to take one from him. In the close quarters, he was able to sneak a little bump in, and that is enough to make the difference. Oh yeah, another thing to mention, I think Toxiic is streaming. Yeah, I forgot to say that, Fear. Thanks for reminding me. Another big kickoff win for Toxiic. That is going to be a goal. We're going to see Zen drop a game 2, most likely. Toxiic has had very, very strong kickoffs off this left wall today. Zen not able to cover most of them. Can he produce another miraculous comeback in the closing seconds of a game? He came back from 6 goals down against Moxie to win, but this is not the setup that he's wanted here. Toxiic could just ball chase and let the clock win for him. Can Zen get the ball in the goal before 0 seconds? He tries, but Toxiic's there to save it. Game 2 goes to the Englishman. Zen being tested here. He will get one more for the road, but it is too late. Toxiic turns this into a best of 3. Zen overhyped? I really don't think he is, mate. I really don't think he is. You probably picked the worst possible time to say that. That was a kind of a bad time to say that Zen's overhyped, if I'm honest with you. Might want to wait until he does something wrong before hitting enter on that message. I wonder if, does anyone know if Zen's got any plans to go to Winter Major at all? I don't think he would, as a fan. Well, you know, if Vitality qualified, I would be interested to see if they offered Zen a trip with them so he can go to a LAN and, you know, get some experience just being there, surrounded by the fans. I don't know if that's something that he's thought about, but oh man, it would be so cool to see him in the US while the RLCS LAN is happening. You could just take on all of the best players in the server in 1v1. Maybe Boston. Well, see, I think Zen will be playing for Vitality by the time Spring Major comes around, so yeah, most likely everybody thinks they're going to be qualifying for Spring Major. Oh, what a recovery. Zen's beamed the second wave dash, though. Toxiic might be away here. That first wave dash by Zen was immaculate, but he messed up the next one. That was all it took for Toxiic to get back into the position and open the scoring. Toxiic has been very efficient in this matchup today against Zen. He's been taking the chances he gets pretty consistently. Can he keep it up though? Can he keep going? So far so good. It's 2-0. Toxiic beating Zen to the punch there. Zen's trying to surprise Toxiic by going. That was exactly what Toxiic wanted, as he gets his second goal of the game. I'm so surprised that Toxiic goes for this half-flip kickoff on this side. If Zen is paying attention, he has to notice that Toxiic is actually half-flipping the wrong way. I talked about it before. Zen can just score directly if he notices that. He can just shoot at the right side of the goal. There's no way to cover it if you half-flip like this. It just isn't possible to cover that much distance. Yeah, Toxiic keeps going for it. He's only doing it on this side, I believe. Which is kind of interesting to see. Zen misses the back corner boost, goes back for it. Very nice 50-50 by Toxiic to absorb Zen's approach there. Wall shot by Zen. Not enough sting on it to cover the distance. He's turned early here. And Toxic's actually beamed it. Now, this is a bit of a awkward position, or a more awkward position than it looks. He has missed the ball here, but yeah, he didn't expect Zen to be there. He's had to turn tightly underneath the ball, and Zen's in the area the entire time. He's pressuring Toxiic by just being close to the ball. So you might think, well, what on earth is Toxiic doing there? He sort of just didn't expect Zen to be there, and didn't respond well after realizing Zen was. Free jump by Toxiic connects. What a save. He's actually going to grab the possession in the back corner off the back of that. Zen misses a boost again. He didn't get it on the second try. Well, Zen has made the same mistake a couple times this game. He keeps trying to clip these boosts just barely on the edge as he goes past them with ball cam on. And if you're going to, you know, try and be that precise with it, you do run the risk of missing it. Zen faking a shot there. Toxic not going to buy it. Does have to concede possession though. It's going to be a scary possession. Zen air dribbling at him. Reset is there. The double tap as well. Toxic just went for it. Hope for the best. And when your opponent plays a reset at that level, there is no stopping them. I feel like if Daniel and Zen do get a chance to play on the same server, this is probably what the match is going to look like. It's just going to be a flip reset 1v1. It's not going to be a standard 1v1 at all. Zen still down by 1 though. Double attempt. Had to play it a bit more safely though, because Toxic was in the area. Oh, that's a big flick by Toxic. Well, Zen was sort of respecting that, but the speed of the flick was Moxie level. That is ridiculous from Toxic. Didn't even need to go into the top of the net. It was all about the pace there, just getting it over Zen before Zen can react. Yeah, Toxic is, like I said before, one of those players who's trying to contend with Moxie for best flick in the world. I still think Moxie's got the best flick in the world, but Toxic is right up there with him. Ridiculous speed on that, and Zen's going to need to respect it now. He has to just shadow it a bit of a larger distance if he wants to defend with that technique again in this game. Zen, a very nice takeoff here, but he's missed the open net. Well, Zen has made another mistake, and that takeoff to set up the open net was once again perfect. Toxic will not give him an inch in this game. Ceiling reset. One more touch, and then a huge flick over Zen's head. So it's been about speed for Toxic in the last two shots. Placement, not as important as speed. If he could just hit the ball hard, there's no way Zen can react. And once again, Zen does not see Toxic's half-flip kickoff in time. Toxic just takes control of the ball for free in the back corner. I think that's 4 for 4 on Toxic controlling the ball back corner, or at least getting the possession. So I'm going to try and redirect this. Not able to get a good contact on it. Toxic up and over him. He's going to win this third game as well. He's not able to score immediately here, but he still should. Zen is miles away from the play. It looks like he's a bit frustrated with himself for missing his opportunities in this game. Toxic not having the same problem. Every time, it seems like every time Zen missed in this game, Toxic just grabbed the ball and took it to the other end and scored. Zen is in a position he's never been in before, having to come back with very little time left. Once again, denied. Being held to so few goals here. He's got another open net. Surely Zen is scoring, and he is. We're not done just yet. This is going to be a very difficult end to the game if he's going to win it. So with Toxic's quality kickoffs, I really don't know if Zen's going to have 3 clear-cut chances in this little time that we have left. I don't think Toxic is going to give him 3 opportunities to score. It looks like he's got half of a chance here, but Toxic knows better than to leave the ball wide open. He bumps Zen on the jump and scores for the 7th goal of the game. Zen with an okay there. He's not happy with how this game's gone at all. But yeah, Toxic's played such a smart end to the game. That's all about just denying Zen the opportunity to score. He's not worried about scoring himself. He has actually done so. It's all about denying chances. It's interesting to note that... Oh, good shot by Zen. Interesting to note that the player with the best overall all-time record against Moxie, or definitely one of the best ones, is actually Toxic. He's very good in that matchup. And now, against another French player in Zen, Toxic once again having a great time with him. Can he finish the job though? 2-1 lead after 3 games. Still more to be done. Zen taking... This is almost like a timeout in 3v3 here. Just taking a minute. That's smart, I think, to just reset the mental. He missed a couple of pretty good chances to score in the middle of this game when he had Toxic on the back foot, and seemed like every time Zen would make one of those mistakes, he would be immediately punished. France and the UK have a pretty intense rivalry in Rocket League. You're not wrong. They're the two dominant nations in Europe at the moment for 3v3 and for 1v1. I think France have got the edge in both, in my opinion, but UK definitely the #1 competitor. Yeah, quite a few boost misses from Zen in this series. He's not really feeling his location on the pitch all that well. Toxic just hitting the brakes briefly there. Didn't want to leave himself open for the demo. Now Zen could just park up next to him. He's tripped Toxic up on the post. Toxic recovers well. A nice little mid boost grab there from Zen. He's got to look out here though. This is not a position he can really use that boost advantage. Could be dangerous to try and tussle with someone in the close quarters. Toxic backs off all the way. Zen takes off to the ceiling. There's a little bit of boost left over, and he won't need it because the shot is good. Just over a minute into game 4. Zen sinks the opener. Ginger Ninja 7, thanks for the 27-month Prime, by the way. Welcome back to the channel. Really appreciate you. This is the real test for Zen today. I don't think he's looked like he's struggled too much with his connection visibly. Great dodge by Zen. Toxic mixing in a rolling shot with a run ahead demo there. Zen had to react quickly to it. Oh, well done by Zen again. Starting to get some more control of the series. Starting to respond to Toxic's aggression. Perfectly outplaying him with a flick to set up the open net. Now Toxic. Chance to go off the wall here, and he does. There's the reset. Zen quickly closes the gap. Fakes the ball and plays for the boost instead. Zen seems like he's in the zone here. Seems like he's reset mentally with that slight delay between games 3 and 4. Trying to use ball cam to keep an eye on Toxic there. Toxic's bumped him and the ball's in. Well, Toxic again. Able to get a goal from distance. This time off a challenge. He just realized the shot was on target and he bumped Zen, who was trying to fly up and hit the ball to his own crossbar. Toxic has really been clinical, just creating chances by countering Zen. He's been such a tricky player to play against today. Zen with a double, surely scoring. He is indeed. It seems like Zen's able to get back up to a bit more of his normal level here. Definitely slightly slumped in game 2 and 3. Game 4 looking like more of the same. Toxic's missed a couple of boosts there. Well, he's missed the same one twice, I should say. He tried to play the ball to safety right there. Missed it. Missed the boost. Wave dashed. Again missed the boost. I don't know if he would have made it back either way, but yeah, a couple of mistakes in a row there from Toxic. Well, because he didn't line himself up properly with the ball that was bouncing off the sidewall. He scores his second though. Able to get a little bit of space after the kickoff. He didn't have any boost here, so really good job by Toxic to get any height on that flick at all. That was a 0 boost play. Zen had a slight advantage. Toxic still able to get it past him. Beautiful wave dash kickoff there from Toxic. Now he wants to bump, he wants to get inside Zen's head, and the bump lands just in time. It's just all about the height on that air dribble. Looked like Zen didn't want to jump immediately because Toxic wasn't done air dribbling. Free jump from Zen. Looking to air dribble the ball to his own back wall. Toxic lands well. Zen decides to wall dash one time and send the ball long into the Englishman's end. Fake challenge from Zen. Toxic actually had an opening for the flick there. If that was the same power that he produced in the last game, I think we would have seen a goal, but this time Toxic was not able to generate as much pace with the flick, and now Zen's got a chance to set up another air dribble. No reset this time, just a dunk attempted. Toxic's kept him at bay, for now at least. Looks like Toxic was able to grab that mid boost. Huge win for him in the position. It would have been very Zen favoured if he grabbed the boost. Toxic just beat him to it, but Zen's past him. And he'll be up by 2 again. Toxic looking to sneak in a challenge behind the ball. Look how he puts himself right behind the ball so that in his mind Zen can't see him coming, but Zen, he could just sense that there is a challenge coming his way. Very interesting kickoff there from Toxic. He jumped pretty early but then actually dodged into the ball. I wonder if he was faking a wave dash recovery and then just hit it anyway. Of course, Zen's going to score off the back of the challenge. Whatever Toxic was trying to do has completely failed. Perfect ceiling recovery by Zen. He's back in the zone. Another good left wall kickoff for Toxic. That's been the stronger side for him today. Seems like he's quite happy to just hook the ball to that side whenever he spawns over there. Oh wow, what a challenge by Zen. No time wasted. Well, he should not be going all in here if he's trying to play this out consistently. Toxic's tried to demo him and actually ends up own goaling. A bit of a misplay there by Toxic. He had some boost available to him. Tried to demo Zen, ended up on the wrong side of the ball, and own goals. Of course, the own goal is far from ideal, but the misplay was before that when he ended up missing the bump in the first place. Big boost race win by Toxic, by Zen, sorry. Yeah, I think he's floor pitched this in. It's pitched off something, either the floor or Toxic. Zen running away with this one. What did this pinch off? It might have hit, yeah, it might have hit Toxic and the floor there. Ended up being a much faster shot than it should have been. We're going to go to game 5 unless Zen completely capitulates, which I do not expect, given the way that he's been playing in this game. A much cleaner game for him. Just ironed out the small mistakes that were causing him problems. No open net misses here. We didn't have any, major boost misses. Well, definitely not too significant. And he didn't put himself out of position against Toxic's physical game all that much. So, if Zen can keep all that going, it looks like he will be able to close out this series. But Toxic's obviously going to make this very difficult for him. He's been exceptional with his kickoff game today, like he always is. Keeping Zen guessing, keeping Zen on his toes. Looks like Toxic just wants to try and get one more goal to make the scoreline a bit more respectable at the end of game 4. He's not going to get one like that. Zen looking equally threatening to add to his own tally. If you're Toxic here, do you take a few seconds at the end of the game? I think you might. Toxic's given Zen a great pass as he scores another own goal technically. I think it would be smart for Toxic to just take some time here, not immediately ready up. It looked like that really helped Zen get a mental reset after losing games 2 and 3 in a row. He just took the full minute to just compose himself and prepare for a must-win game. Now it's a must-win game for both players. Game 5, Zen coming off a 9-3 game 4. He's actually the one taking time here again. Toxic immediately readied up, so he seems to disagree with my theory here. Toxic equals kickoff goal player. Okay, and kickoff goals are still goals. I'm not a goalist. Are you a goalist? All goals count for 1 in my mind. They're all worth 1 point, in my opinion. I don't think goals should be judged, I don't think 1 goal should be worth more than another goal. And I think it's ridiculous that anyone would disagree. Can't believe people are goalists in 2023. This is it. All on the line. Zen versus Toxic. Game 5. Zen has been tested in a way that no one else has tested him yet. Oh, what a goal. 0 boost dish kicks things off. And Toxic cannot have been expecting that. He correctly predicted that Zen had very little boost at his disposal here. He did not think Zen was going to pull a goal out of that position. You have to always imagine that it's possible for this guy to create a goal-scoring opportunity. No matter where he is in the pitch, he will find a way. Toxic with his first big possession of the game. Zen up early. It's a fake jump though. Toxic saw that late. Zen able to clamp the near post. On perfect timing for the boost pickup. Toxic actually bumped Zen into that, but Zen knew it was coming. That's where he wanted to go anyway. Zen flicking high there. It's going to hit the post, but Toxic will definitely be a bit worried that that went over him. Zen looking to set up a boost steal. Toxic denies it. Here comes the counter off the wall. Lots of boost being saved. Oh, he didn't even need it for the recovery. Toxic scores first time. This is brilliant from Toxic. Look how much boost he's saving in this air dribble. So efficient, and that is a big deal because if Zen gets a save there and lands inside his goal, Toxic needs as much boost as he can to recover and get back to the ball and keep the attack going. So that's a really great goal there from Toxic. He wasn't even all in, and he still managed to create an almost unstoppable flip reset. Zen manages to scare Toxic off his back corner boost. He's going to set up another boost steal here perhaps. No, just turns and shoots first time. That's a great decision by Zen. I think a lot of people would have tunneled on the boost steal here. Zen realized actually after those little bumps, the net is, it's actually just wide open. He's been paying attention to Toxic's boost usage and knew he might be down to 0 there. Zen again making a good read. A position where I don't think all players at the top level would have been able to spot that one. Zen playing a very careful style, you can see, against Toxic. This is not how he played against any of the other opponents he's gone up against on my channel. Still, of course, going for those rush challenges every now and then, trusting his speed and his mechanics to do the work for him, and why wouldn't you? When you've got speed and mechanics like these. 3-1 Zen. I think I'd still say, overall, in this series, Zen has been a much slower, much more calculated player than we're used to seeing, because Toxic has countered him sufficiently to make Zen think twice before going for every single ball. Zen's got levels. He doesn't need to dominate the pace to dominate the game. Looks pretty comfortable here. Oh, well played though by Toxic. Again, just such an awkward approach that Zen could not read. Toxic making it difficult for Zen to know exactly when he's shooting. Zen thought Toxic was going to take one more touch there and then shoot. That's why he's backed off into his net and prepared himself to run up into a save. Toxic just side flips and shoots first time. So mixing up the timing, working out well there for Toxic. You clearly see Zen was not expecting a shot there. And actually, same could be said about Toxic at the other end of the field. Zen surprises him with a first time effort. I mean, Toxic knew that he was in the area. He just didn't respect the first time shot. Still a long way to go in game 5. Zen with a kickoff win. Oh, Toxic threatened the pinch. Didn't go too far though. Now alarm bells must be ringing in Toxic's head because he's pre-jumped and he's left himself susceptible to the mind game. He jumped so early there, he's hoping for a second heavy touch, then slows it down and goes right underneath the pre-jump for 5 goals to 2. There's that same big kickoff win for Toxic though. It comes back every now and then. And Zen has not figured out a way to consistently avoid conceding in that manner. Look where Zen is. He's left side of the ball, hitting the ball towards that wall that Toxic keeps scoring kickoff goals off. I think if Zen wants to avoid that, he needs to stop going very side onto the ball and flipping in that direction. You cannot leave that wall so open when Toxic has already scored so many kickoff goals in that direction. Now, what was that from Zen? I don't know if he got the wrong takeoff or if he lagged out briefly, but that was not a good idea. And Toxic could clearly see that Zen wasn't in a comfortable position. Yeah, will Zen compensate? Again, you can see that he's actually pushing the ball to that same direction. It's so dangerous to do. Might work. Okay, it does, but Toxic had to misplay for that to work, actually. Yeah, Toxic being this did not need to leave the ball. He could have played the ball there instead of the boost. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, so I'm very surprised to still see Zen getting so far in the left of the ball. He's done it again. Guys, he needs to stop doing this. This is just simply a misplay. This isn't a mechanical misplay, it's a strategical misplay. Look where he is. He's on that left side of the ball from his POV, and he's flipping right. You cannot do that against Toxic. He is just leaning that side too often. He's done it again, guys. I don't think Zen, if this is the whole point of Zen's strategy, that he's just going to keep doing it and hope that Toxic doesn't see it coming, then fair enough. I don't agree with that though. I feel like Toxic should, or I feel like Zen should probably stop doing that kickoff. It doesn't work as much as it gets him in trouble. Luckily, the rest of his game is keeping him intact. Okay, here comes Zen again. He's got to get goal side and flip left, or just flip neutrally. okay. He flipped to the right again, but at least this time he was a little bit more goal side. He's not completely side onto the ball, so I guess that's some adjustment. Toxic will score with another impressive flick. Zen is winning with worse kickoffs. I mean, it's his own fault though. If I'm a champ 1v1 player and I can tell you what he's doing wrong in the kickoff, he needs to take responsibility for that. stop making that mistake. I think it's a mistake from Zen, just simply not respecting Toxic's very strong kickoff on that side of the field. I've said this many times, I don't want to overly criticize. It's very hard sometimes to notice these things when you're in the heat of the moment. Great catch by Zen. Immediate launch for the flick as well. That's ridiculous. It's much easier for me. I can switch POVs, see both players. Player can't necessarily see that. Yeah, again, he's just sticking to that one kickoff. It looks like Toxic he's probably not expecting Zen to keep doing this. But yeah, that's wide open. That kickoff goal is wide open every time if Toxic just keeps committing to it. Zen is not switching it up. Toxic's flicks are coming clutch late in the game here. Late in the series. He is relying on his very accurate, very powerful flick game to counter these challenges from Zen. Zen throwing himself, lunging forward there. Extremely risky defense by Zen, who doesn't want to sit back against Toxic and wait for him to come his way. Zen almost spots an opening. Toxic's there to cover it. Now can Toxic equalize late in the game and complete the comeback? Zen dispossesses him early. That's a lot of boost used and no reset for his trouble. Luckily Zen has reached the back corner and critically, just barely dodges the tempo. He might still get contact though. Oh my goodness, Toxic was very close to hitting him. So close for Toxic. That was almost a tie game. As Zen spots him awkwardly on the back wall, shoots first time with the aerial. Toxic going to test him from distance. That's not going to be good enough. This is very, very tense, ladies and gentlemen. Zen has almost conceded a couple of times, but so has Toxic, who's taking more risks in the closing stages, looking to get the equalizer that he desperately needs. Zen's in a winning position, guys. Toxic plays for the boost. Zen just takes the ball for free, but the crossbar saves Toxic. There's no way. Oh my goodness, the mind game by Zen. That is so clutch. Toxic expected a 50-50. Zen just faked it, and he barely wins in Game 5. What an unbelievable performance by Toxic to keep it so close. But yeah, Zen needs to go back to the lab with that kickoff. I'm not a fan. When you're losing that many kickoff goals off the exact same sidewall, you need to do something different. And I think he kind of walked into it. He kind of just walked straight into Toxic's haymaker a couple of times in this match. But he still got the job done. Even if he's losing a bunch of kickoffs, he still did enough. Immense midfield play by Toxic. And yeah, very good games. GG's for by both players.